Hey guys, Sam Serious again, introducing y'all to another video on Bar. So, unlike the previous videos I've been doing, this is a multiplayer game. Not AI battles, 8 versus 8. And keep in mind, everybody is, nearly everybody's pretty much a low-skilled player, so that's relatively my category to play, of games to play with. Everybody's just going around practicing techniques, stuff like that. So, here's an 8v8 map here. I forgot what the name of this map is. Sorry, I ain't got the name of the map here, but it's pretty much an 8v8 here. So everybody at this point has already got their metal extraction spots set up. One person's going naval. He's going for a navy. Looks like he's going for infantry bots. Not sure what Scag here is doing. I lose. He's going infantry. He has to go navy. Cannon folder. And then Majonia. I do apologize if I'm butchering anybody's names here. A lot of these names are actually foreign people from all over the place in this world, so there's a lot of unique names I'm not used to seeing. So, and then you have the Laster 141. And I'm guessing Fopper is going here. I'm right here. I'll be neon yellow. And this match here was relatively decent for what it was. It wasn't too overwhelming. It wasn't too slow. Definitely was catching my attention back and forth between the front lines. My original strategy with this map here was to go for vehicles, since they have a tendency of being more heavier built, and with the terrain overall being more flat, quite flat throughout, I won't have to worry about vehicles being jammed up on hills. But then I just looked at this central spot. It's like, you know what? I'm probably going to want to have units up here. So I wound up sticking with infantry bots. I'll go ahead and start getting everything going. I forgot what was going on with that messaging there. Here. Oh yeah, I was helping him how to communicate. In Bar, you have a system of communication where you can actually place down pings or draw lines, like pressing Q here, then holding the left mouse button allows you to draw. Q middle mouse button, quick ping. Or you can just double left click and just have a message here. So I was just teaching real quick so that way communication would be more laminar. Something I like doing here is for every max 2 wind turbines. I'm just doing this because this map does have wind capping off at 15, but at 12% risk of wind loss, I'll be having wind speed averaging at 11.2. So it's not bad. I built a solar panel here just in case the wind really takes. I'll be able to at least have something producing. And this is me deploying to K-Bot Lab. Now I think I may have got too carried away at certain things here, because normally I will queue a construction bot and 5 pawns and put that repeat. And I'll press Alt button, which allows me to add 2 units to the queue without permanently adding them to the queue. So that was just 2 extra units on top of that. And I forgot to tell the commander to assist the builder. So, a bit of a late start on my behalf. Meantime, I think it was Bustin' Justice, this the player I was contesting with the most. He was immediately going for thugs. He's playing the Cortex faction. Thugs are basically heavy artillery units that are infantry for Cortex faction. Armada, the faction I'm playing on, doesn't have that. Pretty much the only thing close to that is the mace and the it's pretty much the mace, and even then it's not quite the thugs. It doesn't have the same resiliency and range as the thugs do. but he's already trying to send his units out to the front to try to contest the front line. And you know, same thing with this commander too as well. Me, I have a tendency of liking being a little defensive because a lot of new players don't build defensive structures, neither do they build enough units to anti-scout. So it's my attempt in trying to make sure that my back line's secured and deny any scouts. Plus, too, doing that also helps protect Medjania and Silver Whisper too as well. So me, I'm also protecting them too as well, doing what I'm doing right there. Now I'm deploying radar here, because radar is going to be important for detecting scouts. As you can see here, the range here is going to be enough to be able to spot this tick out from afar. Not that the tick was going to be going to where I was going anyways, but... Anyhow, I got my rig set up, I got the conbots doing their things here. This bot is I noticed that there's an issue here with this conbot not doing assisting until I realized, oh wait, it's because this conbot's blocking. So I just moved that guy, told him to fix that up. Now I told him to set that up. I'm having the commander go forward to deploying the miners, and I'll place down the laser turret there. I typically would like to place down a miner and one laser turret because you never know if your opposing teams are going to be sending like small attack units. So this is something to at least mitigate the force, even if they do manage to take out the mechs. I'm at least wiping out a attacking force, potentially protecting my allied players, as well as preventing those scouts from doing further damage to anything that I may be failing to keep protected. Now I'm finally getting the pawns out. I'm sending them out to the front lines to see what's going on here. Two, I want to have an attack force immediately to see if I can deny any mechs here or any expansion here. But as I found out eventually, and as you can see here, I was a little too late. The commander is already here, placing down their defenses. Somebody slapped down a radar here, so obviously they're seeing what I'm doing here way ahead of time here. I don't have any, but I just slapped down the radar myself to see if there's anything going on here. We're now doing pawn spam. Construction bot is taking its time. What's going on? I haven't checked out much with the naval. It's more focused on the front line. Ooh, this guy's got some scouts and decent ship sizes going. That's a not sizable fleet size. This guy, he appears to be heavily invested in ecoing. Oh, did he trap his... He may have trapped his construction ships. Now I'm having the commander here blocking another thing. This is a good thing for me to do because it actually denies potential harassment from an unexpected angle. Now seeing how that I'm retreating my initial forces here, I'm realizing, alright, can't contest this yet because he has too many powerful forces here. Also, too, I'm noticing that there's pink here, so I just want to pull them back before he can mitigate what's left of my army here. He thought he could blockade me here, but he made Lucky Edwards. That's the player I went up against. He made a mistake of being too focused on paying attention to his base here. Here I am just testing the waters to see what's going on. I pinged them to let them know that there's an army here, so that way my allied players might be at least see that just to try to help me with that. But then I realized he didn't bother responding to my attacks. So it's like, tee-hee! Send an army out and just slowly take them out one by one in a line where I don't have to deal with the whole line at once. He eventually noticed, like, oh snap, and pulled his forces back, so... Because of the fact that Edwards wasn't paying attention, he was feeding. So I took advantage of that circumstance, even though I didn't have much. He eventually realized, started pulling them back, when he was like, when we realized I was exploiting that. Bulls here is building up his defenses. I think Bulls, eventually the radar tower being placed up there. So here I was sitting back building up forces, assuming that he was doing the same thing, but Not as much as I thought he was. Wow. Like, what was deterring me is that I saw a thug there, so I thought he was, like, building a plentiful amount of thugs here. So I'll go ahead and start sending these forces here to position him, just in case if the Laster and Phosphor needed help. But then I spotted this, was like, oh snap, try to catch him out on time. You saw what I was doing here, so I was like, alright, so now the intel, thought I saw he was trying to degun my infantry. I was like, alright, back off, but at least I blinded him a bit. So I started going back and forth, thinking that I might be able to apply pressure. Oh, I would not go ticks. That's why they were able to easily walk through that so easily. Then again, that could be just put cannon fire and redirect fire to protect his commander. I tried pinging him to let him know there's defense there because I realized he was sending his construction bots right there. So at some point I started reclaiming all the mech here to get myself an early economic boost here. I went ahead and reclaimed it as soon as possible so that way Bust and Justice can't easily claim it. So deny him the resources before I start building this mechs here. Now I was still trying to figure it out because I realized that I lost a good chunk of my forces. He has a sizable army. He hasn't had Bust and Justice, I guess, was thinking that he should start pushing. But I thought, it's like, alright, in the meantime, start building up my defensive back line here. In the front line there. I was moving back and forth here. Wasn't realizing I was having so many conbots here. I accidentally trapped one of my conbots here. So I started building some solar panels, the advanced solar panels anyway. What I was thinking was just, one, I was realizing low power situation. Two, I wanted to actually start making metal energy converters because I was realizing that I had no easy way of expanding before hitting T2. So I was really trying to build up my economy. So I spent back just pretty much building up any power system I can. I built a geothermal system there. Once again, I'm keeping my eyes here to see if the Allies below need help. Did here be the case. Okay, so Bust and Justice built the radar there. Alright. I eventually send my commander to here. You'll see why I sent my commander up there. So here he is sitting back spying on me. He could have built 3 legions there. If he built 3 legions there, he could have made things a lot harder for me to spot things up here. Which could have gave him the ability to be able to make a push to overrun me. Okay. He was playing... I noticing that he was playing too defensively. So here I was trying to send up a pawn stuff like that to harass him, just to see how he responds to stuff like that. I noticed he pulls my forces away, so it's like, okay, he's not too... he's being defensive until I saw the flame turrets. It's like, oh, no, no! Don't do it! He's trying to lure me into the flame turrets and make me feed my army. So I built some laser turrets and some radars up here too as well to spy on him. I definitely was using this radar to see what's going on there. Plus, I was trusting Lord Janir to be doing what he's doing too as well, because I noticing that everybody around me was defending the lines very well. So that actually gave me the confidence to be able to test the water spore to see how he reacts, stuff like that. I sent my commander there finally. Cloud threw a small army there, and I was like, ooh, wipe them out. So I took that as encouragement to deal with them. I sent my commander there, and I started pushing my commander in there. I was going to degun that, but I saw the commander there, so I was like, yep, bad idea. Then sent my army there, started degunning things there. It's like, oh boy. He could have pushed his army in here and caused me a big problem, but no, he was playing too defensively. But now that I stopped building laser power stuff like that, I have a decent sized mechs and I'm getting energy converter stuff up, I've decided to just focus my attention on producing units. I did set the rally point between my factory to the very middle eventually, so that I don't have to worry about microing units. Plus, I'm always having units going in place ready. One of the players here actually went air. Ah, it was Blue. Blue! I have to give Blue here to compliment Scag. He really had some good timing sending in some bombers. He helped me a little bit in the front line a little bit. He also did some damage around here somewhere too, I think. I'll have to pay attention to what's going on in this replay. So, in a moment, everybody's just pretty much turtling, being defensive. Me, it's like, alright. I gotta do what I can to be annoying and to deny people resources. So I just sent these forces out, knocking them out. The commander here, whenever I start seeing them move around, stuff like that, I'll just move my commander there. And I'll send my forces back there. I was using my commander to threaten his front lines. Remember, the commander, when he dies, he's a nuke. He did not want to deal with a nuke going behind the army line there and destroying everything he has here. If he loses his whole frontal army, that means that my army I have in front will be able to go up to the front and have a cascading effect back to the base, forcing all of these allied players to act, which could potentially redirect their attention elsewhere and give my allied players around me an upper hand on the battlefield. Periodically, I'll just send my commander back and forth just to try to force his attention here and away from his backlines. He doesn't have much infrastructure from the looks of it. Like, he's going energy converters here. Basic panels, win. I don't think... Oh, he has one queued, but... I'd say I'm a little bit more advanced with my setup there. But I'm not paying attention to backlines as much as I should. Ah! One of these guys built AA. Who did it? Oh, not only that, these are seaplanes! Seaplanes are nothing to play with. They're like in between Tier 1 and Tier 2 aircraft. I've decided that I did not want to look like that I'm AFKing and not paying attention here, so I started queuing around here, hoping that he'll take it as me keeping my eyes on the front line. Because I was more concerned about him pushing me. How are these guys doing? Okay, so they're going energy converters and stuff like that. I like the communication on the enemy team. I got some energy converters here too as well. I got a lot of wind turbines, some solar panels, queuing them up as much as I can to get power going. He has too many converters for the amount of power he has available. I try to think at the momentary margin with how I do things. So it's been testing the waters again, see what's going on, and realize he had these flame turrets, so it's like, nope, nope. Thugs, that's a lot of thugs. If he really wanted to, he could have steamrolled me. But no, he was being too defensive. Another thing too is that's forcing me defensive. In fact, I keep on throwing my commander in the ledge there, threatening him with him. So he's doing that, trying to reclaim. He's watching my forces closely. His radar is also giving a view what's going on here. And keeping them there to remind him, I have an army. I realized pawns are not going to cut this, so I wound up starting producing some maces and some rocketeers. And occasionally a crossbow for basic anti-air, since I've seen aircraft earlier on. I think I placed down anti-air turrets here too as well. Yeah, that way if there's like any deep aircraft runs, there's at least diminishing some things. Not that would have done much in the end because my primary source of power for the moment was these wind turbines, and these are very fragile. I have these spaced out like 2 tiles apart, so that way if one blows, it doesn't cause like a cascading effect blowing a chain up. Yeah, Boffer and I mean, they're doing good. Me personally, I would have reclaimed this here in the process of building this. I like how he built his stuff a little bit forward, onwards. Oh, if he would have reclaimed his Lab 2 as well, he would have been able to get that T2 vehicle lab up and going. And he would have been able to have much more of a force going, actually doing things. But I can see why he's doing it, though, because he had, like... Okay, let's see. I bet Foffer was frontlining and he had his artillery doing their thing there. There was testing the waters again to see what he does. He goes pulling back. I noticed that he's trying to lure me into these flame currents. I was like, nope. But I was using the Rocketeers to try to do some far-range harassment. That's a lot of thugs. I was hoping to be able to have the opportunity to send the commander in and just wipe out a line. Nope. Yeah, you notice how he pulls his forces away when the commander goes? He's definitely intimidated by this commander. He's trying to take advantage of the stuff that I never really wanted to. I could probably just partition the lava. Ow! I could have sent some Rocketeers up this hill and harassed them down there, forcing him to reposition. Yeah, that's nice about these replays. You get to see what you can do better on. Without being having to be under pressure making quick decisions. There was threatening him again. Trying to remind him, I'm not afraid to use my commander. If I had the energy, I could have cloaked my commander with him seeing the commander cloaking and really played a big mind game on him. Because if you're dealing with a cloaked commander, you don't know where the commander's going to pop up. I could also just have him self-destruct right here and wipe everything out in the middle and not see him coming. Yeah, Bust and Justice could have overwhelmed me a long time ago. I see, they're doing teamwork. Yeah, dude, Boffer's doing exactly what I was wondering about earlier. And then, Blaster's just having front lines just supporting him from behind. Though he should have been paying more attention to what's going on. But, you know, these guys, they're doing good. They're doing good. For, beginning players. There he is, sending his, stuff over to claim. Okay, so the machine has now went tier 2. Here I was having more of a Rocketeer group to deal with that turret there. Oh wow, I was blowing up a wreck instead of the actual turret. Thought it was still alive. Alright. Here is sending the force suits going on up here. He's still worried about me with how he just sent those guys over. You see, it's noticed that my army's getting bigger and bigger, and that I am hitting this stuff from afar, meaning that which is a realization on his behalf, they realizes that I'm not going to charge right in. And here is Scag here, sending in some atomic bombers. Nice! I am so digging this. When I realized the bomb was forced, like, yeah, this is the moment that I was waiting for. Scag was well played on Scag. He saw that I was nervous here. That I didn't fully want to hit or do the sizable forces. He gave me the blank check to go ahead and charge right in. But I didn't want to fully engage though because I didn't know what exactly was behind here. This radar, I have radar up here, but it's only covering so much. So I don't know what was in here, knowing what this radar is covering. Because I could be like walking into like a wall of flame turret as far as I'm concerned. However, realize there's a small force. I eventually started going T2. Yep, start building. Yep, I was going T2 already. Got some forces. I got some hounds. Oh, that's an interesting little subtle animation for the hounds. A hound wagging its tail. Taking time for my forces sit back here because I don't know what's up here. I knew he had radar up here, so I knew he was seeing all this. There was testing waters here. Finally dealt with the radar, thanks to the maces. Maces actually fire over an arc, so that allowed me to hit up there. Now I do know that the maces were heavy duty too as well, so that allowed me a chance to deal with that. Now with me setting an army here, I imagine this was catching Bull's attention to be wanting to redirect my attention here, so doing this probably actually helped Alice below deal with a lighter force. If that's the case, then I can expect that to be a thing later on. Once again, this guy's not building much in the naval force, so he's able to get security with that. Centurions, they're actually pretty tanky Centurions, but they're expensive, big, and demand energy. Not to mention that they don't do as much damage from afar compared up close. That's just the nature of laser weapons. But yeah, except for building a force in between here to either react to me or them. I think that's what Bulls is doing there. That was a good call there. There goes his... What did knock out? Is Econ there? Yeah, they're full of bullshit because Scag here, he knows what to do with aircraft. He's taking advantage of every weakness and opportunity. You know, I think we won the game because of Scag, because he just knocked out a very major economic source here, which really hindered Bulls here. Notice how he dramatically slowed down producing his T2 lab? What he did here really disrupted him. Hats off to you again, Scag. Which now has made this fight... I think I may have saw that too as well, so that gave me the encouragement to just get in there. Though, these here would be able to help the Centurions fight me off. Seeing that he's trying to engage with the Centurions, though, I sent them in there. Now he has to start trying to deal with me here. Realizing that he's doing that now, I decided to just pull things back here. Hounds. Now I'm finally bringing in the hounds. I think I reclaimed the original lab. Yeah, in order to build the that there. I was redirecting all my energy to build some fusion reactors. Now I realize that goes in a bit of a pickle here, so I was trying to do as much damage as possible while trying to pull back. But Centurions, as I mentioned before, they do less damage from afar. That's why I was keeping the Maces back, because the Maces don't have the range penalty. Centurions do. So spreading them out too as well to prevent them thugs from doing damage, while making use of the Hounds and Rocketeers to harass the thugs. I was moving them here to give the Rockets space to deal with the thugs. Realizing that his army is pretty much dwindling down, he's forced to retreat. He also didn't want to invest his Sheldon's too as well. So he's pulling his artillery back. You realize he lost disengagement again. Heroes popping up hounds left and right. And I'm finally building the advanced extractors, which produces like 10 times the metal. Now, I'm still trying to deal with the issue here. I'm keeping maces up in front to give the hounds the vision that they need to see. I think I set the command. Yeah, the commanders are reclaiming everything because I pretty much own this spot, so I took advantage to claim all the metal because I can use this metal to rebuild my forces. He has nothing to reclaim with other than the mexes. So either a Screamer or Mercuries. 2 Mercuries. Good placement on the Mercuries there. So he took out that there, which hindered whoever's power supply that was. Probably Reds here. Oh, somebody quit the game. Okay. There was just pretty much reclaiming everything. Started rebuilding my hounds. I did eventually start resorting to building tumbleweeds. Did I cure them yet? No. Tumbleweeds are actually pretty good to have. They're cheap, they may be weak, but they leave no reclaim. And when you get them close enough to the forces, they do a lot of splash damage. So my thought was to use the tumbleweeds to dramatically thin out the front of the forces. Probably just sending a scout there to see what I'm doing. You probably realized I was reclaiming everything. Eventually send my hounds, huh? You deal with that. Sure, let's send my hounds in and try to contest that. Commander's big front line, try to do anything just in case they have a continuous line. Oh, why didn't I send a commander? Why didn't I reclaim that? Oh! Probably because I was responding to this. But I could have reclaimed that partially and then pulled them back if I just didn't pull them back too soon. So I pulled these forces back to try to work around there, to cut off any flanks. You realize what I was doing. I saw these guys and realized, oh, I don't need any things to be dwindling down my hounds real fast. I kept these guys here to at least let them know that I have an army here. Got the tumbleweeds coming up. Yep, here they are. List was gone sent to be able to come up with a surprise. Here he was sending in forces here thinking that he could steamroll me. He did not expect me to have tumbleweeds come around the corner like this. He or she, I don't know who they are. Intel was a grab from here. Okay, so he's barely in range to see what's going on here. I kept my army here to keep him blind. Here he is sending some bombers again. There I am sending the tumbleweeds in. He was bombing them out with thin lane and tumbleweeds did their job and softening them up. So it's a combination of Scag and then that's pretty good comp because he just wiped out frontline forces. So it's not just my tumbleweeds that did the trick. Scag helped me. Once again, Scag being a good shot caller again. Except Scag, excuse me, not Swag. So once I realized that the army's gone, I just had the confidence to send my forces here again. Yeah, I likes to Scag here because he knows when to send forces in to help, give me the confidence to push in. Here's Justice not being able to do things here. Alright, so that was tier 2 stuff. Oh, he's not building units. You know, if Bulls here would be focused on producing units, he could have helped a lot and pushed me back even further, but no, he was too focused on teching up. He was just having forces. I was actually having the Hounds wipe out the first knocking at the forces here, but I was also having them wiping out the flame turret stuff too as well. I was literally doing like attack command line there. I heard the sniper. I knew there was a sniper bot, but he was setting that sniper bot too much forward. If you would have just kept if you would have been conservative with the sniper bot, I would have pulled the Hounds back and not have done much damage as much as I could. I was trying to move my Hounds back and forth all over the place while trying to deal with these at the same time. It's kind of tricky to do that once when you're having your attention all over the place. But yeah, I was just having them position, stop, fire everything at once, and now just burst down some structure, stuff like that. But yeah, I see I have the economy now to just keep popping out Hounds. You know, actually, Tumbleweeds wouldn't have been able to do much. But yeah, I was just pretty much building up Hounds stuff left and right. I may eventually just send, yeah, the commanders just sent these over to start reclaiming. It's Forks complaining about. There I was doing my line attack. Oh no, yeah, I was doing a line attack on these here. I was needing to knock out these flame turrets so I can get close. Eventually. Oh, he's not producing enough forces. He's stifled on power. That's what's going on. So they couldn't produce the forces needed to contest against us. The Bulls, he was too busy taking up and rebuilding his economy, allowing Faulkner and Blaster to push in and just steamroll right through. Yeah, you always want to have units to defend, because if you don't, you're going to get rolled. Now here's a Silver Whisper, and Silver Whisper sending its forces to contest that. Like, he did a good job putting pressure, but I think he overcommitted going in here, but props to him sending the force in to help me. When I saw this, I knew, GG, no power for purple here, meaning that purple can't do anything. There he is sending all his forces here to contest against Silver Whisper and I. These Hounds wouldn't have been able to do much with these heavy lasers. I realized that these heavy lasers were going to cause a problem. I pulled them back immediately. Oh, somebody built a Basilisk. I do remember at some point the game was telling me that heavy artillery was attacking my units. Where was it going? Was it trying to knock out my stuff here? No. Even then, I don't think he has the range to hit back here. But yeah, here's the two guys being awesome, causing damage. I heard your notifications about a Titan being built. Yep, South is lost. GG, but don't celebrate yet. I was retreat my forces back, realizing that they're pushing in now. Cannon Falter here was sending in forces trying to help me here. Fat boys. At this point, I was like, okay, see how he plays out? If he sends any remaining forces in, D-gun or comm bomb. I had enough power to just send my commander in, because I eventually completed a second fusion reactor. An advanced fusion, actually. So I have all the power in the world to do things around the cloak and stuff like that. Fat boys are nothing to play with here. These fat boys are holding a choke point here, so it's like, you know what? Send the commander in, try to D-gun them, but then realize they're eventually will start getting blown up, so I just resort to having the commander claim them, just to get some resources rolling on me. At least it wasn't wasted metal, but I did build up a bunch of cache of metal. It was redirecting production. Oh, just all these and that. Okay, it's still producing. I was doing a brave thing here, having my commander there with his fat boy to potentially deal with them. But yeah. I didn't exactly do the finishing moves here in dealing with these guys. I did thought about setting in fat boys to have some tanky stuff going. Just to punch a hole through. But no. The allies are pretty much doing everything for me now. I pretty much did what I could to hold the front line there and just try to do as much damage as I possibly can. There he is trying to knock out power. Once again, caught Scag. Yeah. That's a lot of fires. Even then, it doesn't matter because it's still collapsing now. At this point, I just resorted to softening up a large number of tumbleweeds. As you can see here, this hitting stuff there, just blowing things up. I was hoping you'd be able to just have the tumbleweeds just wiggle the way through and knock out some power. Or at least scout and cause damage. And at this point, he's throwing in the towel. I mean, that's the whole point of having games like this. You learn. So, what's everybody's stats like? Yeah, Scag here, he's MVP. He's MVP here with a lot of things. He's used a lot of metal. He used all of his energy. He used all of his metal. He produced all of his the most metal. No metal gone to waste. Only teams that wasted metal are the other team. And even that's the end of the game when he could, when he didn't have enough building power to use the metal. So energy excess. Yeah, I was dealing with units left and right there. But at least I was trying to dwindle down forces, even though I wasn't dealing the most damage. But yeah, I was relatively high up there with my participation. Well, I also received a good amount of damage. I'm curious, what was... Oops. Well, I mean, he's got a lot of fusion reactors. So yeah, that was that game on 8 Horses, is the name of the map. 8 Horses. Anyhow, I hope y'all enjoyed the games, and hope you all got the insight in what was going through my head. If there's any of y'all who are relatively adept in the game to... I appreciate any pointers on how I could have handled the situation a lot better. But yeah, hats off to Scag. He made some key moves that really helped the team. So I'd say he helped carry all of us and allowing us to be able to push in. Scag, my hat tips to you, my man. Or whom you may be. Anyhow, y'all take care and wish y'all well.